are awaiting for the late Dr. N.K. Balanki Memorial Oration. It was started in 213 when I was secretary, and it is started by his the Dr. Nikhil Balanki in the memory of his beloved father, Dr. N.T. Anesthesiologist, and also a past president of ISA Nagpur City branch. And this oration is to be delivered by the outgoing president, and the topic should be on anesthesiology only. And it's my proud privilege and honor to be seated with Subda ma'am, the 2011 Zodi of ISI Nagpur City branch. She was my president and I was secretary. Again, it's my proud privilege to introduce the outgoing president who needs no introduction, Dr. Saurabh Berde. Dr. Saurabh Berde needs no introduction. He has did his MBBS and MD from GMC Nagpur. After that, he is honored with Indian degree of regional anesthesia. He is a practicing anesthesiologist of Nagpur. He was a president ISI Nagpur City branch 2020 to 21. He is a governing council member in last 2 years, also along with me. That is Maharashtra State Chapter in 2021 to 22. He is a executive member of National Academy of Regional Anesthesia Society. He is a reviewer of Indian Journal of Anesthesia. He has various publications at different journals and is faculty. To his credit, he has his so many personal awards. He received just in at our state conference the first Best Public Awareness Award individual and the President Appreciation Award for his outstanding work in spite of the COVID pandemic. Then he first biennial Maharashtra State CME in November 2030. As a president, he is honored with 4 awards. That is first Best City Branch Award, first Best Public Awareness Award, then Membership Drive, and second Best Secretary Award. And as an honorary secretary, he received the first Best City Branch Award in his leadership. So his topic is very catchy, Third Eye and Me. So I think I should stop his topic. Let Dr. Saurabh Berde to do the.
Hello. Good afternoon, respected seniors, teachers, and my dear friends. Thank you, respected chairperson. Bestowed upon late Dr. N.T. Balanki Memorial Oration. This oration is to be delivered by the outgoing president of the ISN. The year 2013. The first oration was delivered by Dr. Cham sir. Coincidentally, on that day, I was installed as honorary secretary of this branch. And today I am here to try to do justice to this honor. I am having the opinion that oration is always to be delivered by either a stalwart in the field or a very senior person in the fraternity. I must say that I qualify. Therefore, it is a huge honor and a tremendously big responsibility when I am standing here. Earlier this month, in one of the get-together, discussion about this year's oration happened. Nice suggestion. One suggestion was oration could be on non-academic. Another suggestion was non-academic topic could be photography, as it is my passion. Second was that the photography sees the things differently with different eyes. Clicking. Many thoughts kept on lingering, and suddenly there was Eureka moment for me. I asked my wife, Dr. Prajakta, how is this time? She had a huge question mark on her face, as I did not tell her that I was talking about oration topic. प्राजक्ता म्हणाली, काय नेहमीच अगम्य बोलत असतो देवजण. आणि ती परत आपल्या कामात लागली ॲज युजल. नवऱ्याच्या बोलण्याकडे कानाडोळा करणे. I decided that I wish to narrate few of my experiences in my ongoing journey with the third eye. This photograph I took when I visited Isha Yoga Center during one of my visits to Coimbatore for Ganga conference. This is a mobile capture, not very clear. The statue of Adi Yogi. Adi Yogi means the first person to know the yoga, or the person from whom yoga evolved. It is said that 7 rishis later could convince the Adi Yogi to teach them the art of yoga. And later on, from these 7 rishis, many yoga practitioners evolved. Adi Yogi or Lord Shiva is also called as Trilochana or Trinetradhari. There are multiple stories of third eye famously depicts rage or anger. I'll narrate one story which is different. Once Lord Shiva was meditating deeply and Devi Parvati mischievously closed his both eyes with her both palms. After this thing, there was sudden darkness all over universe and the panicky situation. Frightened, and he rushed to the Shiva and asked Shiva to save the world. Lord Shiva opened the third eye, and light emanated from that third eye, and the universe was saved. The third eye is a savior. Yoga and some of them believe that human body has 7 chakras or energy centers which can be activated by various methods of yoga kriya. The chakras are counted from below, and the 6th chakra is the third eye chakra. They say that this chakra is located between the eyes on the forehead. Third eye chakra is perception, sixth sense, intuition, telepathy, or we can call it as same. Yogic Kriya Sadhana or activation of third eye chakra can give a person Divya Drushti, the special vision to see the things which cannot be seen by a normal eye, normal tool. This Divya Drushti. You must be thinking, what is going on? And the anesthesiologist is looking, what is this going on? For an anesthesiologist, if any anesthesiologist gets third eye, which gives a very good vision, Divya Drushti, which we cannot see with normal eyes, and that third eye becomes a savior for him. There is nothing like it. According to me. With this third eye, anesthesiologists are doing regional anesthesia, pain blocks, invasive lines, and patients and anesthesiologists are being saved with point of. If we go back to the history, first regional anesthesia using ultrasound was published in published in 1978 when the authors they used Doppler ultrasound to detect the vessels in the supraclavicular area and mark that vessel and blindly give the block in the supraclavicular area. They did not visualize the brachial ultrasound. In 1994, there was a publication where the first time shown that ultrasound was used for supraclavicular approach brachial plexus block using 24 gauge cannula, and they penetrated the 24 gauge under ultrasound guidance penetrated the sheath of brachial plexus under ultrasound guidance and gave 30 ml of bupropion 0.5%. This is the first incidence, reported incidence of ultrasound guided regional anesthesia. Then people started using ultrasound for regional anesthesia slowly. In 2010, in VGA, a review article was published. What has happened in 2010? What has happened in regional anesthesia with ultrasound? In the article, they said that much has happened, but they were skeptical that there is enough evidence to show that it is a safe. They were skeptical that there is enough evidence to say that this is more safer, more. Later opined that probably in next 15 years will be the thing where this ultrasound will be more important from the clinical point of view. In 2013, another the authors discussed the role of ultrasound with anesthesiologists, what is the present and what will be the future. They were convinced with ultrasound in regional anesthesia, neuraxial or pen block, and vascular access. But during this time, the ultrasound was not being used in outside OR, like in ER, emergency room, or in ICUs by anesthesiologists or by ICU people. The other things were done by radiologists. So, people and ICU people, they start areas for airway assessment, lung ultrasound, neuro monitoring like optic nerve sheet, transcranial Doppler, gastric ultrasound, and focus transfers into what we call DISPARS. And they said in this article that this is the future, probably. This is the future of ultrasound in anesthesiology. During this time only, around 2012 to 13, emergency ER people and ICU people started using ultrasound, and they coined the two terms, fast and sonography for trauma and focused echocardiography in emergency life support. Focus. What was the situation when did started in India? I did not find any evidence on on the internet or anywhere. As I heard original anesthesia conference, I heard India ultrasound started use of ultrasound in regional anesthesia started around 2004 2005, somewhere around that time. 2020 21, we are at par with anybody in the world. Indian people are. There are many for doing research work, cadaveric work, volunteer work, and they are guiding the world in the ultrasound guided regional anesthesia. My journey. Always fascinated with the echo probe since 2003. I would always attend the cardiologist doing echo and would ask the cardiologist to allow me to hold the probe and examine the patient. But as far as regional anesthesia and ultrasound is concerned, my first encounter was in 2009. When I first visited Hyderabad, the course conducted by Dr. T.V.S. Gopal sir. First hands-on, for me, it was the first hands-on on volunteer ultrasound training. And after coming from that course, we at a corporate setup as a team started doing what we learned at the workshop for next few years. In 2011, I quit the corporate job and entered into the freelance practice, and then lost the touch of ultrasound. In 2012, I attended a basic workshop of AIIMS Delhi. Because I was fascinated with EcoProbe, so I would always go for whenever I get a chance to go for that. And I attended that workshop, passed the examination conducted at the workshop, and got a certificate for that. The next advanced stage required person should have done few number of ecos personally and a logbook of that. So I could not go for the next advanced workshop course and examination. In the meantime, I became honorary secretary of IISc Nagpur City branch. Became busy with practice. Completely lost the touch. Conference, Euro National Conference, and I was astonished to hear the words PEX 1, PEX 2, QL1, QL2, QL3. I was astonished to see what is this going on. And that awakened me. My ego was hurted. How can I know, don't know all these things? At that time, I was very egoistic. Again. So my ego was hurted, and I decided that I'll again go into the ultrasound. I inquired about the possibility of owning ultrasound machine, possibility of hospital owning ultrasound machine, possibility of ultrasound machine owning by me, and rules and laws required for that. Picture was not colorful. It was pretty black and white. But still, I wanted to go for that, even though if I wanted to sail the boat alone. The laws during that time, the laws were so that even the shifting of machine from one room to another was changed. Forget about the portable machine, use of portable machine from one hospital to another. There was a darkness, lot of darkness for me in front. But I said, I'll go for it. Diya jara na kaha. 2016 at Hyderabad. All the academic was revolving around the ultrasound. I talked in the break, I talked with Dr. Manoj Karmakar from Hong Kong and Dr. Sanjay Sinha from UK and complained to them that if you guys keep on talking ultrasound in India, we are not allowed to use ultrasound legally. And what is the importance of such conferences for us? I said, listen, ultrasound is the future. Ultrasound is the future in world. Go ahead. You will have to it is going on. Field में तुम भी निकल सकते हो निकलो. Your path, a road, good time. I decided the path, the uncharted path, where the end was not visible. The path was thorny. The thorns were big, the obstacles were big. I decided the information from, and in those two and a half years, every 3 months I attend at Kolkata, Delhi, Pune, Hyderabad. I would keep on rotating all these places every 3 months because whatever I learned in first workshop would forget in next 15 days. And again, I was back to square one. So I wanted to learn all these things and kept on going to those workshops. Some of the faculties were common in few workshops. They started recognizing me. अरे तू तो तब भी आया था, फिर से आ गया. बोला बेशरम. This is these are the first one in Umber. They call this breed as a Beshram. Because it grows anywhere. It grows anywhere. That is why it is called as Beshram. The other one is that grips on the soil. This is a dry flower. लहानपणी आपण ते छोटे फुलं घेऊन असं त्याचा मुंड तोडवायचं ते आहे. This is dry floor. कितनी भी बार निकालो इसको फिर से आ जाता है, फिर से ग्रो करता है. I was like that. During this time I got these two Nalwa. They changed my thinking. Dr. Sandeep Diwan teach me lot many things, and Dr. Bala thought process. And doing the things whatever I learned in the thing. परिंदा उड़ तो चुका था, बट आसमान अभी बहुत ऊपर था. Remember the things as said in Gita, nahi jnanena sadrusham pavitramehi vidyate tat swayam yoga samsiddha kalenatmati atmani vindati. This world life knowledge. This is a karma yoga. Gita is a part of three yogas: karma yoga, jnana yoga, and bhakti yoga. One who becomes perfect in yoga, karma yoga, finds this that knowledge is purifier in course of time. I started to know this. The pace was slow. I was going at snail pace because I did not have probe in my hand. Because the requirement was that I should have a training to now in this period there was glimmer of hope that anesthesiologist can own a machine certificate. So I did not have a training certificate in my hand many a times. Go on volunteer. So I was going at snail's pace. Once and become a smaller one, could walk on this. In this meantime, I applied for two exams: Indian Diploma in Regional Anesthesia, first part, and European Diploma in Regional Anesthesia, first part. I cleared in both in first attempt. And the criteria requirement for European Diploma, second final part, we could not apply for that in that period, but could apply for Indian Diploma and cleared in the next 1 year. And then I had a training certificate. Now I could apply on a ultrasound machine. This happened in December. I applied for ultrasound machine registration in December. Almost 3 months, and in February 2019, I got my own bigger system, third one. From February 2019 to say today, November 2021, 2.5 years, with loss of almost 6 months in lockdown period, very less work, anesthesia work. I could do more than 6,000 invisible ultrasound guided procedures. Most of them were upper limb blocks, majority, because this is where we use blocks commonly. Lower limb blocks were not far behind. Facial plane blocks in special situations, and obviously shoulder plane block and invisible lines were also there. The change after getting ultrasound machine for me, what I used to do with PNS, I stopped in 12 years. So the amount of volume I would use with and 15 ml of 2% lignocaine with adrenaline. With USG machine, I have come down. Even with whenever I do PNS outside the OT where I don't have ultrasound machine access, I without ultrasound and up to 15 ml of bupivacaine with ultrasound in supraclavicular approach, and in the interscalene approach, 10 volume of local anesthesia. Obviously, everybody does supraclavicular brachial plexus by supraclavicular approach because that is commonly being done at training level, at teaching level, and so and it is also called as spinal of upper limb. So we are happy with one prick and done. So this is So most of my upper limb blocks are by supraclavicular approach. Interscalene approach, yes. For with general anesthesia, I use in uh, arthroscopic shoulder surgeries, rotator cuff repair or Bankart repair, and without general anesthesia in trauma patients. Axillary approach mainly for upper limb fractures where K-wire around wrist, and intraclavicular approach I use only in pediatric patients. For upper limb, both bones forearm tense nailing. Superficial cervical plexus block I use with interscalene approach, and individual nerves mainly for whatever the area required to be blocked. I use those individual. Low limb blocks, I am into the knee arthroplasty. My center has arthroplasty going on, so the major thrust is on adductor canal block with catheter insertion. In unilateral patients, mainly if the surgeon is doing bilateral at one go, I would always go with epidural. IPAC enthusiasm in initial days to go for IPAC injection between popliteal artery and capsule of knee in initial days, but later on it would take time, and surgeon started doing his own LIA, local infiltration anesthesia. I stopped doing IPAC later on. 3 days back, I did one IPAC with femoral block for manipulation of knee, post arthroplasty knee, and for and we could manage with this only. Parietal blocks, these are mainly I do in such kind of blocks I do. And lower limb blocks are they are considered in high risk patients. This journey is ongoing. The number will always keep on increasing. But I have got this previous history, but has this ultrasound been my savior? There's very few cases here because of short of time. So 62 years male, hypertension, diabetes, post PTCA, CKD, anemia, hypothyroidism, obese, short neck, Sarvagun Sampanna patient. Because of using same insulin syringe for 2-3 months without even using antiseptic spirit. 13 in multiple injection absence. On anterior abdomen, he had a history of in-hospital cardiac arrest twice himself. Both time revived. First time after myocardial infarction, he was revived and underwent emergency for PTCA, and second time after surgery for lap hernia, mechanical ventilation for few days, and now patient was not willing to for going to sleep during in general anesthesia. I don't want sedation. I will be awake. There was a counseling, informed consent that ये फिर से हो सकता है भाई, cardiac arrest. 2 बार हो चुका है, फिर से हो सकता है. The only option left with me was regional anesthesia. How should I proceed? There were different sites, 7 on abdomen, 2 on upper arm. I had to think. I thought I explained the patient, I'll do multiple pricks to you. You have to bear that. If you don't want to go to sleep, I'll do multiple pricks to you. Yeah, great. I use bilateral upper quadrant tap block, saphenous nerve block below me, and infiltration under. Patient could feel something is going on, but he did not have anything. He could manage this patient. Second case, 90 years male, whole inferior wall MI with good LVEM. Triple vessel disease diagnosed 10 years back, but because he was 80 years old, his sons avoided बोल के कि हो गया, कोई जरूरत नहीं कुछ. He was on long-term diuretics for swelling over body and feet. He was in right heart failure. Frequent hospitalization in cardiac setup. He had restricted activity, homebound patient. Because he had multiple cardiologists BMC, and it turned out to be more than 4,000. He was fracture neck tumor, bipolar disorder. Relatives were ready. Relatives were ready to take any kind of uh, uh, happening to the patient. When I examined, went for PSC, his spine was severely swollen. Considering that he was in CCF and difficulty in putting an epidural for this patient, I thought I planned a lumbar plexus block and sacral plexus block combination. If you see the crowding of ribs on that side, the rib cage is almost touching the iliac. It was so scoliotic. I used dual technique lumbar plexus block and for lumbar plexus block, ultrasound guided as well as PNS guided. Initially, I tried to locate the lumbar plexus by paraspinal approach, where we see Dr. Manoj Karmakar, where we see the lateral transverse of lumbar vertebrae at stride and tissue, and we go in plane, and this lumbar plexus is present at the junction of lateral 2/3 and middle 1/3 of between these between any two transverse processes of lumbar vertebrae. If you go, we have to go in plane, try in plane, because this is a pretty deep. Out of plane is slightly difficult. So there was no space. There was no space to negotiate the needle between these two transverses. So the poisonous plant found in probably South American continent. It has a trifoliate leaf with a stem and three leaves. आपल्या बेलाचं पान. The stem is formed by the transverse process, and the three leaves are formed by quadratus lumborum muscle, rectus spinae muscle, and psoas major. This is the probe position for Shamrock Smith to place the probe at that level on the dependent side to open up the space on the procedure side. I could just put the probe and did this procedure, locating the sacral plexus with CNS and getting a stimulation. Sacral plexus or transbrachial sciatic nerve block, we see by USG probe as sacral notch and a sacral sciatic notch and a sciatic nerve coming out of that notch. It is a sacral notch and not very much prominently stimulate this sciatic notch and got the contractions, and we could complete the surgery in this procedure. The next patient is 59 years female, fracture neck tumor. She had biventricular failure. Initially, there was a left ventricular failure, now right ventricular failure. This patient has a biventricular failure. Grade 3 by 4 dyspnea. Multiple admissions. Whenever she had admission, she would have orthopnea as well. LV global hypokinesia with LVEF of 20%. Severe TR, severe pulmonary artery hypertension. Recent episode of CCF was 1.5 months back. She was on diuretics and digoxin. Renal dysfunction, altered LFT. Again, this patient I managed with lumbar plexus block and sciatic nerve. Case for 73 years male, posted for inguinal hernia meshplasty. They had an old pulmonary TB. One lung was very fibrotic. And because of that, there was a bad scoliosis of thoracolumbar spine. I was 30 minutes, failed, and finally done in the 2001 guided hernia. Last case, 85 years male, Sarvagunsam multi-drug resistant pulmonary TB in 2013, obesity with obstructive sleep apnea, not able to lie supine, always would sit in the sleep in the or lie in the bed in the proper position. He was wheelchair bound. Somebody else and he had continuously frequent bouts of cough. His left hemithorax was almost gone because of cold pulmonary disease. Right hemithorax was there somewhat. His SpO2 was 80% on Humir. He had a fracture there. My simple plan was anesthesia with spinal anesthesia with low dose. But the issue was venous. The veins were very small and effect of spinal anesthesia happened if I needed a good vein. He had a short and thick neck and a stiff neck. He would not be able to turn the neck on the other side. So I planned ultrasound axis in propped up position with frequent bouts of the patient coughing during this thing. And I could locate the interjugular vein very laterally, too laterally in the neck. This is my journey is ongoing. But if somebody wants to follow this kind of journey, I have few. Knowing anatomy and anatomy is essential. Always learn from experienced persons. Attend workshops. There are many types of workshops, hands-on workshops, cadaveric workshops, simulation workshops. You have to attend those workshops and learn from the experts. There are many fellowships available, but the fellowships are they start from 6 months onwards. Fellowship. Many big hospitals they do have fellowships. Evora has fellowship. Uh, People can attend those or apply for those fellowships. When you are starting, do under the guidance of trained. Always do under the guidance of trained practitioners. Get acquainted the technique in ASA 1 or 2 patients so that you have execute. If you fail in this plan without race or in case of failure. This is not my. This photograph is taken by. He's a wonderful photographer and great anesthesiologist. I have learned shoulder anatomy and shoulder blocks. He posted this photograph in one of the, or I would say Ganga anesthesia group. Ganga, yeah, I kept this photograph as my treasure. I can say his lines written by Janab Shahra and used in the movie Raja and pretty well sung by Asha Bhosle. There is anonymous thing written. These two shades, I can say. This photograph I took at Search, the honeybee on a flower. As we know, honeybee hops from one flower to another. It carries pollens with it. And that hopefully I'll do that. Now the journey is still going on, third eye and me. Dharma बढ़ता जाए. Thank you.
Saurabh, actually, when I came to know third eye and me, I was doubtful whether it would be on camera or whether it would be on USD, because I knew that you were good in both. In the beginning, you said that you were neither a stalwart nor a very senior person. I beg to differ. For us, Nagpurians, you are a stalwart. In USD, certainly, and your oration and your various cases have proved it. And I am sure that you will be a guiding force to all the younger people who want to pursue your passion about ultrasonography and excellence in anesthesia. I just hope that the cases that you have narrated are wonderful. I hope you have published it. Teacher in me, I guess, but I'm sure that it's publishing material. I'm sure that you have that in mind. And I'll just change your line slightly and say, आपने तो ये बता दिया है कि हमने तो बस मंजिलें तय कर दी हैं, ऐसे तो अपने आप
Thank you, sir, for this inspiring oration. Now I request our chairpersons to felicitate Dr. Saurabh Burde, sir. with a- President, Madam, and Secretary, Madam, to join, please. I request President Dr. Kiran Gevhare, Madam, to felicitate our chairpersons. Token of appreciation, Dr. Shubhada Deshmukh, ma'am. And Dr. Sheetal Dalal, Madam. Coming to an end of today's ceremony, once again, on behalf of ISA NCB, I thank you all for attending this ceremony physically as well as on virtual platform. Time, repeat lunch. All please stay back for photograph. Executive team, all please come on the desk. Ma'am, Bhuri ma'am, photo. Savargokar madam, please come for the photo. सभी लोग आइए स्टेज पर फोटोग्राफ.
you.